evening, Vegas Sports Nation, and welcome to the Vegas Sports Scene. I'm your host, the Bat Frie Kenny Frie. Happy weekend, right? Saturday night, feeling all right. Hot as balls. I'm sure it's probably hot as balls pretty much everywhere in the United States right now. It's summertime. I hope everything's going well for everybody out there. I am doing A-okay. Before we kick it off, I just want to give a shout out to Vegas Rob, my co-host, now former co-host, I suppose. He put out there on the Facebook that he will not be returning to the Vegas Sports Scene or Out of the Box Sports Network. He's pursuing other things in his life, and that requires 100% attention. You know what? Kudos to Rob. It was a pleasure talking sports with him, Vegas sports with him, and I appreciate him for bringing me into this. I love podcasting. It's something I always wanted to do, and I just needed to push into it. And my fellow Fry Foundation boy, Vegas Rob, got me going. So thanks, Rob. Good luck with everything. We'll obviously be in touch. And one day when you're president, make sure you save me a room in the White House. All righty. So we're going to go ahead and kick off with a couple comments. All right. Who is number one? Well, let me see here. I know Adam Glenn's not number one because Adam Glenn cannot be on tonight like he was not last night. He's out partying it up, living the high life. So who is number one? Eileen. What's up, Eileen? She says it's 10 p.m. Do you know where your Ken Frie is? Everybody knows where their Ken Frie is, right here. Yeah, see? She said it. He's right there. There you go. Maiko, what's up, Brother Paul? He says, let's go! Better be for you are not first, Paul. Maiko, you were not first. Eileen was first. Wah, wah. 10:01. You were, it had to be, I don't see the seconds on here, but she must have been like 10:01 in like 13 seconds. You might have been 10:01 in 15 seconds. She's the fastest typer in the West or the Northeast, I guess. The fastest typer in the Northeast. Eileen. Thanks for checking the show out. That's all I got for tonight. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just messing with you. So what do we want to talk about here, Vegas sports fans? Oh, how about Josh Jacobs as the world turns? Josh Jacobs. Raider Nation, Josh Jacobs. Every damn day we get to hear about Josh Jacobs not signing his contract. Blah, 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 blah. Not signing the franchise tag. Raiders aren't even close to signing, for a long-term deal. So I have a couple thoughts on it. I'm over it. It annoys me to no end. I get why it happens. I absolutely understand why it happens. These guys put their bodies through hell. It's their livelihood. They put a lot of work into their craft. I get that 100%. I just can't stand having that whole contract like every day, the same damn thing over and over and over again. There should be like a set thing by the NFL. Once a week you can report on contracts, and that's it. No more talk the rest of the week about contracts. Come Sunday, is he signed? No. All right. See you next Sunday. That should be it. In my opinion, I can't stand the whole contract squabbling, back and forth. It bugs the crap. It's not about the money for me. I could give to it. It's not my money. What the hell do I care? I don't care if he makes $1 million or he makes $100 million. That doesn't bother me at all. Well, it bothers our salary cap, but again, I don't care. It's not about the money. It's about just having to hear about the same nonsense every damn day about the contract. Is he going to sign his franchise center? Is he not? How close are they to a long-term deal? Does he deserve a long-term deal? Should he hold out? Is he doing this for running backs in the future because running backs are a position that gets ignored when it comes time for the big payday and stuff like that. It's really annoying as crap. I can't stand it, but I guess it's a necessary necessary evil, I think. Maiko says, damn it, Eileen. UFC had him looking at the damn screen instead of typing. Trying to get another tweet to hit 33,000 views. That's absolutely amazing. I don't understand. I don't know who that person is. For those of you that don't know, go ahead and check out Out of the Box Sports Entertainment Twitter, and view that tweet so we can get up to 35,000. But Paul would know more. Maiko would know more about who he shared. It was all fighters from I don't know what division of I don't know if it's boxing or if it's UFC or what it is, or if it's a MMA, a different MMA company or a boxing company. I don't know what it is. And but he shared it, and so far it's up to 33,000 views, which is absolutely insane. That's fantastic for Out of the Box Sports. We just want to keep growing the brand, keep growing the name, and putting out decent content for all you fans out there, all two of you. So back to Josh Jacobs. So a couple schools of thought here. If he doesn't sign it, he said he's not going to report to training camp if he does not have a long-term deal. I think training camp starts in like two or 3 weeks. I think it's 2 weeks. In my opinion, it sucks. Josh Jacobs was fantastic last year, over 1,600 yards rushing. Career season last year. I think he had like 15 touchdowns, 53 catches, another 400 yards receiving. Which was the 400 yards receiving, I believe, was a career high. The 53 catches was one shy of his career high. The rushing yards it was a career high. The rushing touchdowns, I believe, was a career high. I think his rushes, his amount of carries were also a career high. I could be wrong. I'm not sure. But he had 400 touches last year. All combined, he had around 400 touches, which is a lot for one dude. A lot of punishment for one dude to take, but. To give Josh Jacobs credit, he didn't seem to take a whole lot of punishment. He never really took the big hit. If you watch, sometimes running backs really get running between the tackles, running backs really get creamed sometimes, and you never really saw him taking the big hit. And again, I didn't watch every single play of the Raiders last season, but he seemed to stay very healthy during the season until about the end of the season. I think something happened with his hand or his wrist or something like that. I think he got a pinch between a couple of helmets, and but overall, legs wise and stuff like that, seemed to stay pretty healthy. But so to log in 400 carries last season, that's a lot for a body to take. 400 hits and 400 plus hits because he's breaking tackles as well. But then you look at who they have in their running back stable. You have Zamir White, who got very limited carries, who I was very intrigued with, and a lot of Raider fans were. I know Vegas Rob was as well. Zamir White, I was really surprised the Raiders didn't give him more touches last season because it seemed like he played really, really well in the preseason. And whenever he did get a couple touches, it seemed like he ran the ball very hard, was able to find a hole, and he seemed to be very explosive. With that being said, didn't touch the ball a lot. So if Josh Jacobs is not going to report to training camp, is not going to sign unless it's a long-term deal that he feels is worth what he produces on the field, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And so if he's not going to get paid that, he's not going to show up. Well, that's bonus for Zamir White. That's good for him. He'll get more touches. He'll show out more. And as a rookie last season, the Raiders have control of him for 4 seasons. So if he goes out there, he balls out, then you know what? You let Josh Jacobs walk. You kind of wash your hands of him. It's kind of a bummer. You don't get anything for him. You don't trade him away. But you don't have to pay that large amount of money. You also have Amir Abdullah, who also I thought played pretty well. I wasn't expecting much out of last year. But Amir Abdullah, I thought he played decent last season. And Brandon Bolden, who was hurt for most of the season, so that is what it is. And Britton Brown, who was another rookie last season that didn't see the field at all, I don't think. And I don't know if that was injury related or if he was a practice squad guy. or something like that. But he was a draft pick from last season. I think or 2 seasons ago, for I think it was a 6th round or 7th round pick or something like that. But I thought he had an all right preseason last season as well. So with those guys, and there's even Sincere McCormick, who missed all of last season as a rookie. I think he was signed as an undrafted rookie. I could be wrong about that last year, but he missed the whole season due to injury. And I know a lot of people, from what I've been reading, a lot of the experts were kind of high on him, saying that he could be kind of like a diamond in the rough as a running back because he came from the University of Texas, San Antonio, I believe, and led I think he said he led the nation in rushing or something like that. So they were kind of there. A couple of the experts were a little bit high on him. So that's something to watch out for as well. So I mean, it's one of the things you just let him walk. Hold your money, let him walk, and see what you get out of Zamir White and guys like that. That's a possibility. Do you pay him the money? And the Raiders, I think cap-wise, I think the Raiders aren't in a bad situation. But if you pay Josh Jacobs the type of money he wants, it makes things a little bit tighter and harder to sign better talent. So there's that part of it. But then if you get Josh Jacobs from last season, it's absolutely worth it. But they also have to look at where the Raiders are as a franchise. As much as I don't want to say it, are they in rebuilding mode once again for the past 30 freaking years? Are they still in rebuilding mode? Not quite 30 years, but since 2003, it seems like, since the shit hit the fan after the Super Bowl, pretty much after that season is when they started rebuilding, we'll say 2004 then, are they still in rebuilding mode, for 20 years? Are we doing this shit again? I don't know. But if that's where the Raiders are as a franchise, do you really want to throw all that money at a running back that's in his late 20s that just had a lot of carries, a lot of touches on him, and you want to sign him to another 4 or 5 years, for I don't know, 15, 16 mil a year, whatever he's looking for, that's a lot of money for a guy that might give you two decent seasons left. I don't know. If you're rebuilding, you just say, you know what, let him walk. Go with the younger guys, see what you got. And if it's something that you think they don't fit, then you go back through the draft again, or you look, in other places for young running backs. So it's going to be interesting to see what they do with this. I also have another thought on it, kind of pro Josh Jacobs, or I don't say pro Josh Jacobs, but kind of like looking at it from his side. And the one thing I think the NFL could do a little bit better, maybe it's a possibility or not, I don't know, but it's something I was just thinking about a little bit ago. I hit a couple comments here first. Eileen says, LOL, Maiko. I think he going to beat me? Ha, 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 ha. Never! Maiko says, hashtag Kingpin Boxing. Okay, it's boxing on Days in Boxing. Hashtag Days in Boxing. Hashtag Daniela Helmsley. She's like the underdog badass who won tonight. Okay. I mean, they just absolutely blew up on the Out of the Box Sports Network Twitter, which was awesome. Absolutely fantastic for us. And tomorrow when we wake up and rub the eye boogies from our eyes, go into the Twitter box. Hopefully it's at like 90,000 or something. I don't know. That'd be awesome. Michael says Zamir White was nasty in college, deserved more carries. I blame Josh McDummy for not using him. Absolutely. It doesn't make sense why they didn't use him. They had a decent mix of veteran and young talent, but they never really went to the youngest talent they had in their running back room for whatever reason. When they did put him in there, he ran the ball well. So I don't know. It didn't make sense to me. Was there something else going on? Does he not know the playbook well? Is it too complex for him? You hear stuff like that. Is his playbook is so complex, which doesn't make a lot of sense to me. If your playbook is that complex where your players can't grasp it, maybe the problem is you. Maybe the problem is your playbook. Maybe dumb it down for some guys. Dumb it down might be not the right term, but maybe, make it simpler for folk to understand. I don't, if you want to walk around and puff your chest out, people just don't get my playbook. They don't understand my system. Maybe that's your problem. Maybe that's your fault. Make your system, easier to understand or easier to grasp, or, there's some quarterbacks or some players that can go out there and just get it just like that. But there's a lot more that it's going to take a lot longer to learn. Like that's one thing I didn't understand. Like when in New England, they'd sign a lot of these veteran players that have for the wide receivers, getting their rapport with Tom Brady and stuff like that. Those guys would put a lot of work in, understanding the system, understanding what's needed of them. Then you'd see them, they bring somebody in like a Chad Johnson or whatever, a veteran wide receiver, and they don't do all that well because they just don't grasp this system. These guys were all pros, all stars, Pro Bowlers and stuff like that, and they don't grasp the system. Maybe the system, needs to be adjusted a little bit for guys like that. I would want that. I would want that Pro Bowler, that Pro Bowler on my team. I would fix the system so he understood it easier, so I have that talent on my team. I just don't understand why they wouldn't. They just boast, our system's so complex. Not even Ocho Cinco can understand it. It's nonsense. That they need to adjust their system. If it's that complex where your players can't understand it or they struggle understanding it, adjust. Adjust it to them. They're the ones playing. They're the ones making the plays. You are not. You are calling the plays. Make it easier for them to understand. Damn it! Yeah. Maiko says they're running him to the ground like Zeke. Huge carries, huge deal maybe, and loses his mojo over time. And so over his career, which is I guess 5 seasons now, I think it is. He hasn't had the huge workload. I know his rookie year, he was over 1,000 yards, like 1,200 yards or something like that. But after that, wasn't overly huge. Last year was his absolute biggest season. So in my opinion, I think if he continues at the rate that he was last season, I think you're only going to get 2 more productive years out of him at the high level that he was last season. Now, there is a possibility you get 4 or 5 productive years out of him, but it's not all going to be at that high top level. It's going to gradually come down, just like a lot like Zeke. And he's just going to be a shell of himself. He's going to be, a change of pace back or back that goes in there to spell the top running back then. So now you're paying a guy to go in and spell, a guy that you're paying $16 million to go in and spell a guy that you're paying, $1.1 million. It doesn't make sense. Mr. Fuji-san. What's up, Mr. Ken? I'm still working out my master plan for payback. Yeah. The Atomic Drop podcast did receive some email from Liv Morgan's security team, and I'd be careful, Mr. Fuji. You and Cowboy Dave they're going to have eyes on you guys. Pittsburgh don't mess around. They'll be beating you guys with steel girders and shit. So here's one thought I had with running backs, the whole running back situation in the NFL, with running backs not getting that big payday after their rookie contracts are up or whatever. So you look at it, rookie contracts are usually 4 years. First rounders, you have the 5th year option. And I think that's team control, but I could be wrong about that. Why don't they adjust it? Because that's for every I believe that's for every position in the NFL. That's not just running backs, but that's every position. If you're a rookie, you come into the league, that team controls you for 4 years. If you're a first round pick, they have the 5th year option. Why don't they adjust it to each position? Now if you're like an offensive lineman, something like that. Make it 4 to 5 years. If you're a skill player like a running back or wide receiver, make that like a 3 to 4 years. So something like that where they're still fresh enough to get a decent-sized payday, but they're a couple years into their career where you have an idea if they're actually worth that kind of money. So I wonder if there's some sort of scale that they can go off of that in the NFL, just to make it a little bit more fair for the running backs. Because I do feel like they kind of get the short end of the deal, but I do feel like it's an underappreciated position on the field for a lot of NFL teams. I feel like the running back is underappreciated position, and they feel like they could just plug anybody they want in there. But there's always a few diamonds in the rough that are more than that. And, they're not getting paid because they figure, well, if we just get rid of this guy, we could bring 2 other guys in to get the same production out of that. And it's not kosher. It doesn't sit well if you're a running back, to be honest with you. So, so if they could adjust something like that, make it like, let's say after the 3rd year, the running backs can be free agents, or they can, go for that big payday. And wide receivers, same as them. Tight ends, offensive linemen, you'll make it, 4 years. Again, if you're a first round pick, I do agree with the team option. They should have that option. But I think that should give you not more than enough time to know if your running back is a good enough player that he deserves a bigger contract. I don't know if that makes sense to people. It makes sense to me. I don't know. So let me know your thoughts on that, if that makes any sense or not. Maiko says Chad Johnson played 12 snaps with Patriots. It shows McDummie needs to dial down the verbiage. He ran an offense with Pokemon characters named for 5 to 8-year-olds. Now we run quest cards for my 11 to 14 team. So, you got to adjust to who you have on your team. If you have, 5 to 8-year-olds, you got to use the Pokemon cards. If you have 11 to 14-year-olds, you gotta bring it up a little bit. But if you have a Chad Johnson on your team, or you have a veteran player on your team that doesn't understand your system, and this player is a former Pro Bowler or something like that, maybe your system needs to be dumbed down a little bit. I like saying dumbed down doesn't sound right, but maybe your verbiage or the intricacies of your game plan need to be explained better. It's just I don't know. It's just something I was thinking about with some of these coaches in today's NFL, with their offenses being complex and stuff like that. It's I just think sometimes for some players it's too complex. They don't get it, and they're good players and they get shut out for some reason. They get traded away, they get cut, and they end up going somewhere else and either flourishing and, you look like an idiot, or, they're that defeated by what happened at the previous stop that, they're no good anymore. They're just, kind of over it. I don't know. That's just a thought I had. So that's all I got on the Raiders right now. So I'm going to go ahead and do a quick read here for a sponsor for good old Monkey Colt Coffee. Of course, we love the Colt. Monkey Colt Coffee. Check them out on monkeycoltcoffee.com with their bourbon chocolate chip infused coffee and toasted coconut rum. And like I said last night on the Atomic Drop podcast, which you can catch every Friday at 10:30 p.m. here on Out of the Box Sports Network, they are coming out with a newer flavor. I believe it's a Sumatran blend. It's not a flavored coffee, which I said last night. My dad, when he comes to my house, he's like, "Oh, you got that flavored stuff? I don't want any of that." He's a straight up, straight coffee guy. He doesn't want any, frills or anything like that. Like myself, I like a little bit of flavor in my coffee. He wants, just regular coffee and regular creamer, or half and half, whatever we have. He doesn't want anything, Frenchy or vanilla-y or toasted coconut rum. He wants the plain stuff. So coming soon, Monkey Colt Coffee. They'll have the plain coffee, the Sumatran blend, I believe it is, like I said, which I think is a medium roast. I could be wrong about that, but very soon it'll be coming out at monkeycoldcoffee.com. Also, if you check out monkeycoldcoffee.com, they have T-shirts, they have coffee mugs, tumbler cups, cold brew pitchers to make cold brew coffee, K-cup adapters, a really good rum cake, that and much, much more at monkeycoldcoffee.com. And be sure at checkout, when you're at checkout, type in the promo code OOTB Sports for 10% off. That's OOTB Sports for 10% off of your order. And with every order placed, Monkey Cold Coffee donates a portion of the proceeds to pediatric cancer research. So be sure to check out Monkey Cold Coffee and at monkeycoldcoffee.com. All righty. So we're going to move on to a little bit of Las Vegas Aces talk. All-Star game is tonight, I believe. I just got home from a full day of being outside in the hot sun, so I'm just chilling. So, the All-Star game was at 8:30 tonight, actually in Las Vegas. Captain for the Wilson team was I think it was Wilson, right? I think it's Wilson. Was Asia Wilson. I'm sorry. She's been actually absolutely killing it first half. Absolutely killing it. She's almost averaging a double-double right now. She's at 19.7 points per game. I think she assists. Rebounds. She's at 9.3 per rebounds. The Aces have been so dominant. They're sitting at I think 19-2. I've written down here. 19-2, 7.5 game lead. They're beating opponents on average of 15.4 points per game. They actually just did lose a game a few games ago to the Dallas Wings, who was actually behind them in the standings. They're the team that's 7.5 games back. So as dominant as they've been, as a Las Vegas Aces guy, I don't watch a whole lot of basketball to begin with, but I do follow the Aces. I do pay attention to their score sheets and stuff like that, what they're doing. But losing to Dallas, that'd give me a little bit of concern when it comes to playoff time, because they're able to beat Dallas. They only beat them by a few points, I think like 8 points. But then they come back and they lose to them. I think like 2 games later, much like they did to the Connecticut Sun earlier in the season, where they were able to go out. Beat them. I don't remember, it was like 7, 8 points or whatever it was. And then the Connecticut Sun came back and actually throttled them. I think it was the very next game, and that's who the Aces were able to beat in the championship last season. So losing that game to Dallas would kind of make me a little bit concerned. Not enough to where I'm sweating over it. But knowing that they do have that little bit of confidence now, said, hey, we punched Goliath in the mouth and made his nose bleed or whatever. Kind of gave them a little bit of confidence, and so, but still, easily hands down so far the best team in the WNBA has been the Las Vegas Aces. Like I said about Asia Wilson, she's looking like she's gonna on the fast track to another MVP, back-to-back MVPs. Kelsey Plum's had a terrific first half. So is Chelsea Gray. She leads the team in assists, 6.5 assists. Candace Parker, Candace Parker still balling out. Jackie Young, Jackie Young having a fantastic first half of the season. So this whole team, I think Asia Wilson is top 10 in almost every major offensive category. I believe so. But Jackie Young, averaging 19 points per game. Like I said about Kelsey Plum, she's averaging 19.1 points per game. So the Aces have been, for the most part, absolutely untouchable so far. So they had the All-Star skills competition the other day. I don't know who watched it. I watched the highlights the other morning, or was it this morning? Yeah, I think I watched it. It was this morning. I was watching the highlights. Or no, it was at the softball tournament. That's where it was. It was Sabrina Ivanescu. I'm not sure who she plays for, though. I wish I would have looked that up before I said her name. But the 3-point she had, she was in the 3-point challenge championship, and she absolutely killed it. I mean, she every shot she hit it, she missed one shot, and it was I think in the last ball in the second to last rack she missed, and she barely missed it. And it was really, really cool to see just her get into a groove and swish, swish, swish. It was really, really nice. Great shots. There's a couple that she hit there where the net doesn't move. That's my favorite part of basketball. And again, I'm not a huge basketball fan. I used to be, when I was a teenager, mid-teens maybe. I liked basketball back then. But whenever there's a shot made and the net just barely moves or it doesn't move at all, and the ball just comes in, you have to ask yourself, did that go in? Because you didn't see the net move at all. That's a fantastic shot. I love seeing that. It's really cool. But another part of the skills competition, that Sabrina Ivanescu, she ended up winning the 3-point challenge. I think she won it by a lot, actually, a landslide. But then there was the skills competition. And a couple aces were able to win that. It was Chelsea Gray and Kelsey Plum. They came back and I think it was Chelsea Gray. Yeah, Chelsea Gray. Yeah, Kelsey Plum. In the skills competition, it's like a whole obstacle course type thing, happening there. And they ended up winning, I think, by 13 seconds. I think the team that they're going against kind of had a little bit of struggle with their shooting. So. But anyway, so the Aces came away on top there as well. So it's been nice. It's been nice being an Aces fan. For Team Wilson, Coach Becky Harmon, the Aces coach. She's the head coach for the All-Star team for Team Wilson. Asia Wilson is a team captain and starter. Chelsea Gray's a starter. Jackie Young's a starter. Kelsey Plume is a reserve. So the Aces are well represented at the All-Star game, as well as they should be, being easily the best team in the league. Possibly going for a little bit of history this season, record wise. So we'll be following that as the season goes to see what they're able to do there. If they're able to keep on pace where they're at and able to break the record, which was held by. I talked about it a few weeks ago. I can't remember who it was. If it was Phoenix, I feel like it was Phoenix, but I could be wrong. So that's what I got on the Aces for tonight. I'm going to go ahead and hit another sponsor read. J. Fine Law. Attorney Big Al. You can reach Big Al at 1-800-HURT-123. That's 1-800-HURT-123. J. Fine Law specializes in motor vehicle accidents, slip and fall, workman's comp, and personal injury claims. You can call Jason 24/7 directly at 267-962-4895, or you can contact MyEco at 267-303-7324 for a free consultation. J. Fine Law now has 3 office locations, count them, 3 throughout Pennsylvania and New Jersey. Heading up to Pennsylvania offices are the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia, located at 1628 JFK Boulevard, Suite 2120 in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. The number there is 267-888-2980. And out western Pennsylvania, the steel city of Pittsburgh, located at 500 Grant Street, Suite 2900 in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Phone number there is 412-365-8151. And then last but not least, in the Garden State of New Jersey, Cherry Hill, New Jersey, that is. 3 in Greensward Lane, Cherry Hill, New Jersey. The phone number there is 856-209-5258. Make sure you tell Big Al that the Bat Frie from the Vegas sports scene sent you. And I'm back, baby. It's kind of rough right now. with Vegas sports. The only thing really going on are the Aces. You figure the hockey season's over. The Golden Knights, won the cup. The Raiders are just coming into training camp in a couple of weeks. The only thing we have to really talk about right now is the Josh Jacobs stuff. So not a whole lot there. And then we got to talk about this right now. Just real quick. I love Las Vegas, the soon-to-be Las Vegas A's. The Oakland Athletics are so bad. They stink. They stink worse than the Mets. And I'm glad I don't have to really talk about them right now. But they've lost 5 in a row. They did have a nice little stretch there where they won a couple games. I think they won like I want to say 3 out of 4, 3 out of 5 or something like that before they lost this 5 in a row. And they were, last I checked, they were losing, I think, 8-7 in the 8th inning to the Twins. So I'm pretty sure it's probably 6 in a row now. But they are absolutely playing terrible. Like I said, they're worse than the Mets. There's not many teams that I'll say that about, but they are absolutely worse than the Mets. They're sitting at 25-68. Things are bad in Oakland. If I'm an Oakland Athletics fan, I'm saying, see you later. I'm rooting for the Giants. I mean, it is bad in the Bay City. That's all I got to say about that. I was looking over their stats and their roster. There's nobody to talk about. Absolutely, they have one starting pitcher whose ERA is in the high 3s. That's about it. That is about it. Offensively, not a whole lot there. They do have a guy that's hitting like 267. That's their best average with 16 home runs and like 40 RBI. So it is really, really bad in Oakland. So that's all I got there. I am sweating bullets right now, to be 100% honest with you. My phone keeps vibrating. I don't know why. So we got the I don't know if this is correct. Is it? Yes, it is. The new Out of the Box Sports weekly lineup. Check it out. Mondays at 4:30 are the Joystick Junkies. 6 p.m. the Soli Squad. 8:30 p.m. the Big Blue Power Hour talking New York Giants football. Then Tuesdays at 6:30 p.m. the Commanders Gridiron. That's coming very soon. I think the 25th, I believe. July 25th. Somewhere the last week of July sometime. I think it's the 25th. That's talking all, obviously, Washington Commanders football. 8:30 p.m. Tuesday nights, you have extra innings talking Major League Baseball. Wednesdays at 10 a.m., you have myself on the Bat Cave talking New York Mets baseball and a little bit of LA Kings hockey until the season gets kicked off with hockey. I'm really excited for the hockey season coming up. I'm hoping to have a guest on really soon to talk a little bit of hockey and a little bit of baseball on the Bat Cave, but stay tuned for that. 8 p.m. on Wednesday, you have College Football Frenzy. They're coming back, I think July 27th, I think it is. 9:30 p.m. on Wednesdays, you have Dem 215 boys talking Dallas Cowboy football. Thursdays, you have 7 p.m. Fuji's Philly Flair talking Philadelphia. Not only sports, but also entertainment type stuff, just stuff about, the city of Philadelphia, kind of what makes them tick a little bit. Friday nights at 10:30 p.m., the Atomic Drop podcast with myself and Cowboy Dave talking WWE wrestling and old school and current product, pay-per-views and stuff like that. Terrific show. I really enjoy doing that. Saturdays, 11 a.m., once the college football season starts up, you'll have an Irish pregame. And then after the game, you'll have the Irish postgame. Then, of course, 10 p.m. on Saturday nights, you'll have the Vegas sports scene. Sundays, to be determined, depending on game schedules, game times, you'll have the Eagles, Giants, Cowboys pregame. Then also you'll have the Eagles, Giants, Cowboys postgames. Again, depending on when the games are, the game times and stuff like that. So So stay tuned for that. Then also coming soon, you have the NFC East Roundtable, all NFC East football, because now we have the Commanders covered. We have Eagles covered, of course, the Giants, and the Cowboys. So there you have the NFC East Roundtable, lights, camera, action, talking, Hollywood type stuff, whether it's movies or TV series, stuff like that. The debate room, which is exactly what it sounds like, a debate room. We'll be debating topics and stuff. And the Birds Corner, which is it sounds like an Eagles show. So a lot of great things going on here at Out of the Box Sports. A lot of it's a hell of a lineup right there, and a lot of cool stuff coming up very soon. Hey guys. All right. So before I head off into the sunset here, a quick show, really quick show, probably one of the quickest shows I've ever done, to be honest with you. I just don't have a whole lot to talk about tonight. There's not a whole lot going on, really. I hope I won't be on next Saturday because I'll be away. We have a softball tournament out at the beach, so I'm not sure what the interweb, what the Wi-Fi, what the Wi-Fi will be like. So I'm just gonna go ahead and skip next Saturday. I'm hoping after that I can start diving into the season. Looking ahead to schedules and stuff like that, and start breaking down matchups and just taking a look ahead. Seeing what I think that how the season's going to break down and what I'm expecting from certain position groups. I'll start breaking down the team. 1 week I'll talk about defensive linemen, the next week I'll talk about linebackers, and the next week I'll talk about the secondary, stuff like that. We'll see how I'm going to break it down, but that's what my plan is moving forward for a little bit more content. But just waiting kind of until the whole preseason kicks in here, which is only a few weeks away. Which is kind of a bummer because that means the summer's just about over. Which is surprising. The older I get, the faster everything seems to be going. Except for myself, I move slower. Time moves faster. I move slower. That's what's happening right now. It's terrifying. Eileen says, "What am I going to do next Saturday night?" Eileen, it's catch fireflies, crack open a fifth of whiskey. There's a lot to do. Oh, look at this. This guy said he was not going to be on. He said he's not going to be on, but there he is. Our boy, Adam Glenn, checking it in. He's at a party right now. He's at a rave, I think. A rave he said he was going to be at with all the disco music and stuff like that, and he's still checking in. That's dedication right there, Adam Glenn. Thanks for checking in, buddy. I hope you had a good time at the block party last night, and I hope you had a good time at your party tonight. Your boy, the fat ass Sean, put a picture on the Facebook of you eating Bellinis. Potato pancakes, if for the people that don't know what a Bellini is. And he's saying you can only eat one. He said they gave you 10, but you're only able to eat one. That's Sean always running his mouth. And there you go. You got home early. Fantastic. At least you're home safe, and you had a fun weekend. Fantastic. Yeah, you had so much fun there. It's a weekend now. So there we go. Thanks for checking in, Adam. I appreciate it, buddy. So check me out. I'll be on this Wednesday morning at 10 a.m. with the Bat Cave. Then after that, you'll have, I believe, Maiko and Cowboy Dave probably doing the wrestling show on Friday night. No Las Vegas sports scene next Saturday. Unless I decide to do it next Friday morning, maybe. I don't know. But I think Friday, from what I understand, as soon as I'm done work Friday morning, we're hitting the road. So I'm sorry. All my millions and millions of fans out there, all four of you, I'm sorry. All righty. So be sure to check me out Wednesday. I'm out of here before there's another comment. I got to check them all. I can't leave them hanging. All right. One last second here. All right. That's it. All right. See you later. Just win, baby. Go Knights, and let's go Aces.